There's the headline at the top: vote to elect a mission-focused and apolitical park board. To start off, it's signed by some of the most political people in Minneapolis, the most aggressively resentful and political people in the city. A lot of concentration in Southwest Minneapolis.
I mean, I love how they started with, we're apolitical and mission-driven. And those two things can't really coexist.
They're mission-driven for their apolitical mission.
Their apolitical mission of putting forward an agenda.
And people who say they don't have an agenda, of course you have an agenda. Why are you here? Why do you do what you do? Why is the word agenda a dirty word? Like, I have things I would like to do. That could be good.
We're rolling. We're rolling.
This is a real thing. Real thing.
None of you have the balls to stop this. Stop this.
I've got plenty of time. I have nothing else going on today.
We're in the Wedge neighborhood right now.
Here we are on the Wedge Live podcast. I'm your host, John Edwards. We're doing another Parks at Large episode with candidate Adam Schneider. Thank you, Adam, for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
We're here at the Pavilion at B'nai Makaska. And Adam, you're a nearby resident, I'm told.
Yeah, no, I just live a couple blocks away, so I get this beautiful view all the time. Lived in Uptown for the past few years, and when me and my partner finally moved in together, my only two conditions is that we have air conditioning and we stay in Uptown.
Okay, why do you love Uptown so much?
It's just kind of like a nice mix of a dense urban city with the greenery that I normally would associate with like the suburbs that I'm from. Honestly, it's really the walkability. I love the Uptown businesses, Majors and Quinn, Black Walnut, like those are kind of staples in my life, and I want to make sure they succeed, so I want to stay true to that and stay in the neighborhood.
How do you get around? Are you do you bike? Do you take the bus? How do you travel?
Okay, so this is the very non-green thing of me. I do drive a lot.
I
do walk. I
figured the reason you were gonna say you're in Uptown is because you hate being in your car and everything is so close. This is not a very stereotypical answer.
No, it's not. But I drive around a lot for work. Unfortunately, I have to carry a lot of big, heavy things.
Are you a firefighter?
No, I'm not that heroic. I'm the greening coordinator for Stevens Square Community Organization. So it's a lot of hauling like mulch and garden tools around, and I was never really much of a biker, so unfortunately the car is the option for me, unless if I want to become like Herculean strength, but I don't think that's a good look on me.
We have a Minneapolis cargo bike library.
I do want to check that out. People keep on suggesting that to me, but I just haven't had like the time to actually like go in and like investigate. Yeah,
apparently you have to do a training, but I'm such a celebrity, they let me skip the training and just gave me a bike.
Well, yeah, I trust you with any bike.
Even one full of Aisha Chugtai.
Exactly. No, I saw that at Open Streets, and I'm like, damn, the vice president has a lot of confidence in him.
Why are you running for park board? Do you have a good life? Because if you do, why would you run for park board?
Well, I haven't had a ton of self-respect in the recent years. No,
you suffer from low self-esteem.
I do. No, but I mean, I've worked around like the climate and environmental justice space for a while, like the small G green areas, and that's a huge part of my campaign. But like, I followed the park board ever since I moved here. When I first started working with Little Earth, and I got kind of roped in and paid attention when they first were addressing emerald ash borer, and then the strike is what actually kind of pushed me over to decide to run for office, because at that time I was Councilmember Cashman's off-year field organizer, and we got coffee sometime during the strike, and she's like, these park board commissioners, like, I don't know why they're not trying to support the workers. I'm not sure why they're like trying to like step away and let the superintendent essentially block any meaningful agreement. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's super weird. And she's like, well, when are you going to run? And I'm like, well, that's next year. And she's like, oh, well. And I'm like, okay. And then I started talking to some community members that I worked with. And I was like, if I'm going to do this, I want to know I have the support behind me, that like I'm not just some guy with too big of an ego. I just want to make sure that I do have the support behind me. And I ultimately made that decision late November after I finished up with another campaign.
It was the union stuff that was the thing that put you over the edge?
Yeah.
That seems like a counterintuitive reason to run for park board. Like, we all support our park workers. Mm-hmm. It's a great slogan, but like, why that issue in particular?
I mean, whenever we support our park board workers, we support the city as a whole. Especially because a lot of our park board workers, as they talked about during the strike, can't afford to live in Minneapolis anymore. But when they actually do have the ability to afford Minneapolis, to live in Minneapolis, then that eventually just comes back to all of us. They do better work, their money stays here locally. At the end of the day, whenever we invest in Minneapolis, whether that's through our parks, through our schools, through our city infrastructure, that eventually comes back to us. We're not just throwing money into a hole.
Mm-hmm. So if you door knock me and I'm like, I don't know what the park board is, why is that relevant to my life?
Yeah, I mean, the park system is the heart of Minneapolis. And the park board manages not only all of the parks, but a lot of the green spaces across the city. After all, they have a $155 million budget, so that's a lot of your tax dollars going to them, and I'd hope you want someone responsible handling that money. But in addition to that, they have a lot of control over a lot of what's close to your personal property, like the boulevard trees, like we saw with Emerald Ash, where they can also take charge on some personal property issues as well. So, believe it, like, no matter what, the park board can come and impact your life. They can offer really amazing services, but they can also do things that have hurt community, and I want to make sure that we stop those practices and engage community a little bit more. So it's really important to stay sort of engaged and in touch with the park board at large.
I know my issues with the current park board. Tell me what your issues are with the current park board.
So part of it is I don't see a ton of policy leaders on there. Public policy is a bit of my background. Undergrad, I was a political science and environmental studies student. I like to say I was educated to be a tree-hugging hippie. And then I got a master's certificate in public policy and decision making from Hamlin, which is just liberal arts talk for government and spreadsheets. So I really want to have them be have our park commissioners be more policy leaders, because as the way I see it now, they're taking a lot of notes from staff, and it doesn't seem like a ton of collaboration with staff, and they're just kind of willing to go with whatever the staff and mainly the superintendent suggests. So I haven't gone over like the 2026 budget, so I'm a little bit concerned about what's in there, and I hope our park commissioners take a little bit more of a lead, investing in more green infrastructure and expanding green spaces. But like during the strike, a lot of them kind of deferred to the superintendent and his actions. So I'm hoping that the next board of park board commissioners will have a little bit more of a lead, take a lead role. I want somebody to like stand up for what they believe in and actually push meaningful policy that can help people.
So aside from the union issue and supporting park workers, what are you excited to get to work on? Excite me, make me excited about you.
I mean, one thing I definitely, first of all, I'm a very dry person, so I'm not sure how exciting I can be.
I'm very dry too. We can pretend to be excited. The Wedge
Awesome.
podcast
Yeah!
is all about a couple of dudes pretending to be excited about the parks.
Love that. I mean, one of the biggest things that I'm interested in is expanding the community garden program throughout the park system. I currently run a community garden in my day job, and I know how meaningful it can be for people on low and fixed incomes, especially in neighborhoods without grocery stores like Stevens Square. And that's expanding the community garden program is something I definitely want to do across the city, not just in our own parks, but with community collaborators. Not to mention, they just make great green spaces. They are community spaces, they are meditation spaces, they are spaces just to simply connect. It's not just for growing tomatoes and cucumbers. So that's one huge thing that I'm looking forward to investing time and energy in, especially because right now we only have like one really dedicated staff to the community garden program in the park board. Although there are like a few other staff that will manage like a community garden at like a different community center, or the JD garden up on like the border between wards 5 and 7. So expanding that staff, trying to make it a little bit more collaborative, and hopefully bringing more programming and like intro to gardening programming. That's something that I've heard from park board staff that they really want to bring in. They just don't have the capacity to do so because one person is managing 15 different sites. Another program that I'm really interested in investing in is the Recreation Plus Childcare program. Like, childcare has been expensive for as long as I've been alive. And the Recreation Plus Childcare program is the most affordable in the entire city, and as more families are being asked to go back into person for work, like, costs are just going to go up. So I think we really need to expand that program in order to meet the growing demand.
Let's talk about open parkways, something that Tom Olson, first in my heart, Tom Olson. I'm sorry, Adam, but Tom Olson is first in my heart, first on my ballot.
Totally get that.
Open parkways, the idea of occasionally giving the park board the ability to close down parkways so that, like during the pandemic, you can get people out on the parkways, because sometimes the paths get crowded on a weekend day, especially one of our premier parks like this lake that we're at right now. And I feel like it became a big culture war thing. Like, just the pro-car extremists had the idea that, like, we were trying to ban cars and prevent people from accessing parks. Like, do you think that's a good idea to have open parkways occasionally?
Occasionally, yeah. I am opposed to completely closing them off, forever, indefinitely. But that's also not the proposal on the table. So, like, I always try to, like, make sure, like, I do not want to completely ban cars from the parkways, especially because I know...
You have to pre-debunk, because people will lie about you.
Yeah, exactly. So, this whole entire campaign is just like a bunch of caveats and like preambles. But so, like, yeah, I'm opposed to like shutting them down indefinitely, especially because I know a lot along the parkways, like, for some people that is like their only access to their house. So, like, that's just pretty unfair. That said,
no one would ever do that.
Exactly. No one is proposing that, or at least no one. No one in the mainstream is proposing.
Do you also oppose lighting lakeside mansions on fire? Do you oppose that too?
I do oppose that. I think it can be a great source of renewable energy. No, I'm kidding. But that said, like, I do want to have like pilot programs, see how it works. We saw it during the pandemic. Let's see how it works outside of sort of the peak of the pandemic. But I also love to have like an open streets like event along some of the parkways. Like, if Cedar Isles, Dean, or Lyra Hill, or Kenwood, I can't remember which neighborhood it's in, but like, if that neighborhood wants to dedicate a few hours of a weekend to close down the parkway and celebrate the annual pencil sharpening, why not?
We should, because traffic gets backed up to a crazy degree, and the guy on the mic is like, everyone make way for the cars, and I'm thinking we should have let everyone know trying to get through here with your car today is a real bad idea.
Yeah, no. It may have been just easier for the crowd to lift the cars above their heads and try to...
The cars should be crowd surfing on Pencil Day.
Exactly.
Okay, here's where I get tough on you, and it's about the Green Party. People may know that I am deeply skeptical of the Green Party, and I think maybe a lot of people share my views. This is not an unpopular opinion, unfortunately. The Green Party of Minnesota in Minneapolis has produced candidates such as Latricia Vitaw, who went on to become our worst council member. Billy Menz, who went on to become a fairly not very well-liked park board commissioner. I feel like the Green Party is often a hiding place for some pretty questionable characters as candidates. Defend yourself from my bad feelings about the Green Party.
No, for sure, because for every Latricia Vitaw and Billy Menz, both of whom I do not align with politically, I'm not a back the glue kind of candidate.
That's a reference to Latricia's police horse say their names routine. Very good. I like that.
Thank you. I'm well versed.
Haven, Maximilian, Buster, Blue, Trooper, Teak, Goliath, Rooster, and Cabo. Those are the horses. I just wanted to say their names.
Well, we also have a Cam Gordon, an Annie Young, a Samantha Priestinson, all of whom are Greens who have served this city faithfully. And I sought Green Party endorsement for a couple of reasons. The one is I wanted to wear my values on my sleeve. When you hear Green Party, if you don't know the unfortunate record we might have in this city, like, you get that they are a grassroots, progressive, independent party. I want to make sure that when people vote for me, they know what they're getting. And that's exactly that, grassroots, progressive, independent. But part of it is I just want more independent politics in the city, and I do want to carry on the legacy of Annie Young. She served this city for 28 years on the park board. I don't really necessarily plan on being there for 28 years. That sounds like a long time. That's longer than I've been alive. But that dedication to community and service is something I definitely want to continue. And I do want to say, like, I'm at least encouraging the Green Party to be a little bit stricter and more strategic with their candidates.
So when you go to the Green Party HQ, is Latricia Vitaw's photo framed in their Hall of Fame there?
No.
You're not proud of her at the Green Party? I guess you can't speak for the party.
I don't want to speak for the party. You'll have to, unfortunately, talk to their coordinating committee comms guy, Adam Schneider.
Wait, you're the comms guy for the Green Party?
Yeah, it's been a fun time. So yeah, we are not super proud of the direction Latricia Vitaw went in her political career. I don't think a lot of the membership is necessarily proud of that direction either. But that's why we try to highlight Annie Young, Cam Gordon, Samantha Priestinson, and try to build stronger candidates. Because there was a few years in there where we did not have super strong candidates. And honestly, a couple of them were kind of like those like hidden, like almost conservative.
More moderate than the DFL candidate. You think of Green, I'm Green because I'm a little bit further left of the DFL. But
Exactly.
that was not the case. It was people who didn't have a place in the DFL kind of hiding away. But we will...
No, exactly. But like that's why I'm encouraging the Green Party to be stricter with their candidates, to make sure that they have some sort of qualification, that they have some sort of experience, and that they're willing to run a strong campaign. Because another thing that I get frustrated with my fellow Greens is that they don't want to run a strong campaign. They don't want to, and hopefully I'm running a strong campaign. I guess we'll see on November 5th. But unfortunately, they just think putting your name on the ballot is enough. But I really hope to set an example for the Greens by going above and beyond, by building inter-party alliances and coalitions, because my campaign isn't just the Greens. I have independent socialists backing me like Robin Wansley. I have DFLers like Katie Cashman and Aisha Chugtai backing me. Like, this is not just a Green campaign.
A lot of people will attack you for being DSA endorsed. Mm-hmm. I will attack you for being Green Party endorsed. I'm counterintuitive here.
Yeah, and I hope to, over time, change your opinion, because I do think the Green Party has something great to offer. It's just, we need to put in the effort of rebuilding that party infrastructure, but also we need to be a little bit more critical of some of our candidates.
Geez, should we talk about the apolitical park board slate? That's such a fun topic for me. Did you get a laugh out of that?
I actually didn't get that email. I saw chunks of it on Twitter, but I don't know. The idea of a non-political elected, like an apolitical elected board, is kind of...
These people are all out running campaigns, seeking endorsements, getting donations.
Exactly. And as a political science major, I have to say everything is a little bit political. I signed my name in blood when I got that degree, saying I have to say everything is a little bit political.
Here's the email, and there's the headline at the top: vote to elect a mission-focused and apolitical park board. To start off, it's signed by some of the most political people in Minneapolis, the most aggressively resentful and political people in the city. A lot of concentration in Southwest Minneapolis. We are Minneapolis residents reaching out to share both our profound concerns about the upcoming election of Minneapolis Park and Rec Board and the names of candidates we recommend. And then they recommend their candidates. Many of them I don't appreciate. And then much is at stake in this election. We can elect commissioners who will form an effective and apolitical park board focused on its stated mission, or we can choose candidates who will sideline the park board mission while using their offices to advance their own ideological, political, or personal agendas at great cost to the park board independence, integrity, natural resources that are the basis of everything the park board provides.
I mean, I love how they started with, we're apolitical and mission-driven. And those two things can't really coexist.
They're mission-driven for their apolitical mission.
Their apolitical mission of putting forward an agenda.
And people who say they don't have an agenda, of course you have an agenda. Why are you here? Why do you do what you do? Why is the word agenda a dirty word? Like, I have things I would like to do. That could be good.
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's like some weird English connotation thing, but like if you don't have an agenda, if you don't have a platform, if you don't have a plan or an idea of what you want to do, then why are you running? Because at this point, you just wasted your own time and money. You're wasting voters' time. Like,
the truth is they have a secret agenda.
Well, I know they have a secret agenda, but like taking them at like face value, like if you don't have an agenda, then please reflect on what better use you can use for your time.
Also,
like take up a hobby, knitting or something.
Secret agenda sounds a little conspiratorial, so I retract that and I will say they assume their preferences and priorities, which is often like the status quo, is just normal.
Yeah.
It's just the way it has always been, the way it should always continue to be. And so I'm apolitical. I don't, this is just the way the world is, and I will maintain it forever. And that makes me apolitical, but that is an agenda.
Yeah, that's a conservative political position. I enjoy the way it is now. I will, if I were elected, I will maintain that status quo. That's a conservative political agenda. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure, because like that will take action. Because people change, Minneapolis has changed. Ever since I moved here, it's changed a lot. By saying that you are going to maintain the status quo, that takes effort and like political capital and time and energy. They are saying that our mission is to make sure nothing ever changes, even though the rest of the city will around it.
Maybe we've touched on this a little bit, but like, what do you think they're afraid of? Because this rhetoric is they are very alarmed. Mm-hmm. Candidates who will sideline the park board mission while using their office to advance their own ideological, political, or personal agendas. Do you think that is what is their fear? What are they afraid of you for? What are you going to do that's scary?
I don't know, destroy all cars probably, which is very ironic, me being both like a pedestrian, but primarily a car driver. Mm-hmm. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm one of you guys, but like...
You think it's the car stuff that they're afraid of?
I think a lot of it is the car stuff. Like, as we've seen in some of the city council races, people are talking about this war on cars that doesn't exist. But in addition to that, we kind of saw this with the Uptown Mall project, where everyone's biggest fear was taking away the parking.
Mm-hmm. Parking that is not legally allowed to be parking, and yet...
Overnight.
And that is simultaneously, the plan was too narrow for fire trucks, but the way we're going to rebuild it is also too narrow for fire trucks. Do we want to get into the mall issue?
Not necessarily. Just know
what is your position on the mall? Would you have voted to implement the long-range plan with the Met Council money?
I would have voted in favor of that. Any sort, like, the best compromise I could have thought of is, and like this is me being like, if it was truly down to some sort of like midnight deal, sort of like we have to make a compromise. I have to give something. The only thing that I would have given is like maybe we preserve some of the parking on the south side, because that is right next to the apartments. Right. But even then, you're not supposed to park there overnight. And also, this is a green space. This is a park. Its main purpose is not supposed to be for parking, even though...
As demonstrated by the park board ordinance that bans parking overnight.
Exactly. So I would have voted to implement the plan. I don't know, one of the things that kind of, not caught me off guard, but I found interesting with that whole entire like public comment section is that I don't remember a single renter from one of those apartments coming up and talking about I want my parking spot to still exist. It was everyone.
It was
on
Mike
the north.
Erlinson. It was Mike Erlinson in his mansion.
It was everyone north of the Greenway, where they all have single-family homes. Their street parking, and likely they have some sort of garage or like alleyway parking, wasn't going to be threatened. So I'm not sure if there was like just sort of like perhaps the people in the apartments didn't have the time and resources to like come out to the park board, because it is at a really weird time and like people are usually getting off of work around that time. But that said, I do just have to say it. Just have to note, like, it was, at least from my recollection, homeowners from what would probably be the north side of the Midtown Greenway. So I'm just curious, like, what dog do they have in this fight other than just the fact of they want to keep car infrastructure on the parkway?
They would like fewer people to park in front of their home. Because the park board did a parking study. I don't want to get deep into this, but the park board did a parking study that determined, there is plenty of parking in this area to accommodate the current demand. And yeah. So Adam, is there anything else you would like to talk about that I just have overlooked?
Not necessarily. Like, I'm an open book, so if you want to ask me any questions, I'm at your mercy.
Do you regret not seeking the DFL endorsement? I don't know how long you've been involved with the Green Party, so maybe it just would have been a total betrayal of your friends to seek the DFL endorsement. But you could have won it.
I could have.
And it would have been to your advantage if you had won it.
But like I said, I want to wear my values on my sleeve, because at least when I started this campaign, there was no guarantee I was going to get the DSA endorsement. I'm not going to say I was necessarily surprised by it, but it was an exciting piece of news I didn't expect to get. So my entire thing is, like, I do want to wear my values on my sleeve. I can't stress that enough. I don't want to seek the DFL endorsement just because it's convenient. And I do believe in having an independent politics and like restoring the legacy of Annie Young and hopefully working over the legacy of some others. But continuing Annie Young's legacy, continuing Kim Gordon's, continue Samantha Bree Stinson's. And like, also, I've been active with the Green Party since I was in high school, so like it would have.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't know. It was a really weird time in life.
You were a troubled teen.
Yeah, I was like a huge Bernie Sanders supporter, and then I'm like, well, that kind of sucked, didn't it? And then I got involved with the Green Party in 2017, so it's been like 8 years.
We went on for way too long about the Green Party, I feel like.
Well, you're the one who asked about it.
I'm obsessed. It's my fault.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's you. You're responding to what I'm bringing, but I feel like I brought too much Green Party today.
No, and like, your concerns are completely valid, and your criticisms, not a huge fan of them, but I also have to recognize them, and because
maybe I'll convince you. Maybe I'll win you over to my side.
I'm more than willing to work across party lines.
Because I'm no big fan of the DFL.
Yeah.
And I detest the kind of people who aspire to party leadership, and that, I guess that includes you. You're in a party leadership position, but you're in the Green Party.
Don't remind me.
But you go on some of these DFL Zoom calls, I don't know if you've been on, and it is just humanity's worst.
Yeah.
The people who aspire to high party leadership have the worst characteristics. These are just not people you want in charge of anything. They're bad people seeking revenge on their enemies, and it's nothing but like sniping back and forth. Like, don't you want to be a part of a group where people like each other? And I hate and like are pulling in the same direction.
Yeah.
And I understand why it's important, and there are good people. I have friends who like are into this stuff, but and I know it's important. Like, you don't want all bad people running the DFL, because it's a powerful organization. But I just I guess I've said what I need to say.
Yeah, and like, I guess that's why I try to keep on fighting and organizing for some sort of independent progressive left, because like, I think ultimately a big tent is good, but it can ultimately become destructive when you have no clue what you're fighting for anymore. And so that's why I try to take a lesson from like the farmer labor history, as well as like other parties. And I know our electoral system isn't set up for this, but organizing at least on the local level to like collaborate with other parties and recognize your differences, but also working to compromise and bring forward a solution worth putting forward rather than raising money to oust your friend.
Okay. Well, if this episode is cut in a weird way, it might be that Adam and I talked a lot about the Green Party in a way that I don't think most people want to listen to.
I mean, it might be worth another episode post-election.
Deleted scenes for some other time. So maybe if it's cut weird, that's why. And Adam Schneider is running for Minneapolis Park Board at large.
Yeah, definitely trying to.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
And this has been the Wedge Life Podcast. I'm your host, John Edwards. Thank you for listening.
This is a real thing. Real thing.
None of you have the balls to stop this. Stop this.
I've got plenty of time. I have nothing else going on today.
We're in the Wedge neighborhood right now.